Hi, good afternoon. My name's Camilo Afanador. We're part of the Sunshine class and we're group number 4. This is my partner.
Frederick Vargas.
And today we're going to be discussing assignment number 1. So, we're going to start off with some similarities. We both found out that our favorite music is hip hop, and my favorite artist is Drake.
And my favorite artist is J. Cole.
It's interesting that even though we have different cultural backgrounds, we're both Hispanic, and that's not really what they listen to in our countries. We both like hip hop, and I think that's because hip hop is a very prominent, music found here in Miami and in the United States in general. So that is a similarity we have since we both grew up here in Miami, despite being Latin American. And yeah, so you want to talk about some of our differences?
Some of the differences that we have that he's Colombian. I'm Puerto Rican Colombian, but I'm mostly Puerto Rican, so more into to that aspect, and he's more into his Colombian aspect.
Yeah, we were talking about how, for example, in my house every day I eat Colombian food, and pretty much I speak Spanish, and I've always speaking with my family in the same Colombian accent. And when we were talking, he kind of has like that Puerto Rican accent, and he was just telling me, like, for example, he grew up watching more baseball. I grew up watching more soccer, and I never really liked baseball. I always thought it was kind of boring, but I'm pretty sure if I would have grew up with it, I would have liked it. And same thing with the food. No, he likes Puerto Rican food. I've never really tried Puerto Rican food. Looks great though.
Colombian food looks great too.
And yeah, so despite both being from, we're both from Hispanic countries, and they're both in a tropical environment found in the equator. We're still kind of different, not too alike. That's gonna take us into our next question. Well, I'm just gonna answer the first part of it, which is, what are the notions of humanities? So I think that humanities brings people together. In one of the videos that we saw, it says George Lucas says sciences are the how and humanities are the why, and you can't have a how without a why. And I think that's an excellent quote, because humanities talks about why a lot of things happen and why it was created and how it came to be. So it mixes kind of the history and the science of everything together, and it brings in that art aspect into it, because a lot of humanities has to do with art. How each culture represents itself differently, and every culture has its own uniqueness to it, while also being similar in certain aspects to other cultures. And it brings people together to study those different cultures and see how they can relate and connect with each other.
And then going to part B, why does humanity matter? Humanity matters because it brings everyone from different culture, different people across the world together, and we kind of understand more of like people's roots and where they come from. Like for example, like New Zealand, they have this tradition with haka, which is a ceremonial dance involving like stomping and shouting and slapping, and it's it's very important for the culture, and it really shows how, like, even though nowadays like things are usually more futuristic and more technological advanced, New Zealand's roots goes back to like how they still go back to their roots, which was years ago.
Yeah, so they it's interesting how they use the haka to grieve and also to celebrate life. And even to this day, like you said, with all the technology and everything else, this is still a tradition that has lived for so long, and it will continue to. I mean, for the foreseeable future, I don't see it really leaving, because this is so important to their culture.
Exactly.
I wanted to touch a little bit about how COVID has affected humanities and the world. So a lot of people use art to express how they felt during COVID. A lot of people felt lonely during the pandemic, and they felt like they had no other outlet to express those feelings of loneliness and frustration than through art. So we saw a lot of different movies being made, a lot of different paintings being made, and just people writing poems and a whole bunch of stuff. There was the Imagine video with the celebrities that was a way somebody, like multiple people singing the same song, and they would allow themselves to connect just like that.
And also, it's like humanity is also tied up with technology too. People are using social media means, and for example, like TikTok and Instagram, just to get to other people. And yeah.
Yeah, technology brought us together. So even though we were so separated and we weren't allowed to commune together and be in person together, technology gave us a space online where we can be a community and stay together and still be connected and in touch. Well, not in person, but you can still figure out what was going on with your neighbor and your family, and you didn't have to have that lingering mystery of what was going on with them.
Exactly.
But that's our time for today. I've been Camila Fanador,
I've been Frederick Vargas.
and have an excellent day. Thank you.